Rizal, how's Jogja?
All good, sir.
All right. How's the fish tank?
Um, the fish is still one right now.
One fish. Okay. Is it a happy fish?
I'm not sure.
All right. Let's go ahead and let's begin. So, Rizal,
Yes.
probably need your help to do the record. And wait, I want to get some more light on this. Wait, give me a second here. All right. So, good morning from sunny Bali here on July 14th. And let's begin our all hands. So thank you everybody for this amazing week. We'll begin by taking a look at some of our weekly inspiration. Okay, first on creating the. Actually, let me introduce everybody to Scott first. So this is Scott. This is Scott McMullen. Scott and I met in 2018 when I went to San Francisco to visit the Airbnb office. Scott had a research discussion with me, and Scott is a project manager. He's worked, I think, about 15 years in project management, working at Google, working at Airbnb, working at a few other companies. He's had his own company a few times. He was the one person who actually developed Google Suite, so G Suite. If you use Google tools, like I'm sure you do for email and calendar, Scott was one of the project managers behind that particular project. So that was something pretty cool. So we had about an hour and a half to talk with Scott about the foundations of project management. And one of the things I want to share with everybody was good projects. Or he's sorry. Scott's not a project manager. He's a product manager. So he's in charge of making sure that products are built correctly, that they're utilized correctly, and they gain a audience and following. Scott's biggest takeaway for us was two things. One, you really need to fall in love and you really need to find the problem. If you found a really, really good problem, then you've actually have the basis for a really good product. He said that it's not so important to actually find, like, to really refine the user interface or anything. If you have a good problem, then people will come around to use that product. So that was a foundation, I think, on this particular thing, this idea of product management. The second takeaway that I recall Scott told us is this idea of building a tool versus using an existing tool. And Scott mentioned something that was pretty interesting. He said that building your tool is always the most expensive way to actually get that problem solved. Building the tool requires a pretty hefty investment, whereas renting a tool or using an existing tool is much cheaper. So we thought about that, and that was actually pretty interesting too as well. And hopefully that can guide us along. So these are the actionable takeaways. All right, to helping us build more innovation culture, I've shared essentially the brand book, which was essentially recognized as our gold medal project for the Vista Awards. And this is what it looks like. It's already up on, I believe, Canva, and it's very easy to implement, very easy to understand. Different types, photo and imagery, mood boards, graphic designs, for social media, for emails, for all the different brand touch points that we have in the company. This is what our brand book looks like. So this will be integrated as part of new employee training. So all new employees will be able to see this and also be able to create freely using our tools and be able to represent the brand and the voice of the company in a coherent and synchronized way. Okay, weekly updates. This is just for everyone to know. We still have employee office hours, and the lunch hour I think is still happening. Although maybe we need to liven up a little bit more, but we still have lunch hour. Okay, next, I wanted to talk a little bit more about how bonuses are awarded here in the company. This is for employees. For interns, this does not apply. But for people who are working here, there's two tiers of bonuses, right? There's individual bonuses, and then there's the Vista project. We used to have a revenue bonus, and that has since evolved into the Vista project, and it is slightly different. Before the idea of a revenue bonus was to award the company when essentially there are new or when we achieve a revenue target. But as of late, we're functioning in the negative. We're actually we're honestly a nonprofit organization at this point. So we're back to the idea of what are we doing at this time. Yes, we do need to survive, and so we do need to produce revenue. But more importantly than that is this idea of we need to create this amazing world company. And so the rewards that go to that are there to create alignment and to create clarity around what we should prioritize. We should prioritize work, event, people, hires, activities, projects that support the vision of becoming the world's most innovative hospitality company. That's what the point of having the Vista Award is. Create that high alignment and also simultaneously create high motivation for us to get there. So those are the terms and the intent of the Vista Project Awards. Okay, as an individual, we trust that you're competently working on projects, processes, and leadership. And as long as you demonstrate that those are competently being worked on, that's where we reward individual bonuses for. So if we see that tasks are being done, that you're learning, that you're progressing along as an individual, that's where the bonus is given. But for the Vista Award, it goes to the people that are working on projects that have the most impact and the most alignment to the company. And just to also reiterate so that this is clear, we've taken, because there was no winner for the Survive Award in June, we've taken that award and we've added it to the July bonus now. So that award does not go away, it just simply gets added to the next month. So we've already suggested during the Vista Project Awards some ideas of what you can do to win that award. If you're still not there, come and reach out to me. 2 people have already reached out to me to ask for project consultation. I'd be happy to bring that through. And remember at the end of the day that just like being an entrepreneur, there is a chance that your project might not be selected. It should not be the primary reason why you are working on a project is to get the award. The primary reason is that you believe that this company can do something amazing. The secondary reason should be that you're getting your own skill sets and you're developing your own project management and leadership capabilities. And if all coincide really well and Jing agrees, then the award will be yours. But no projects are guaranteed to win just because they were conceived. They be executed well. They need to solve the right problem, and you need a little bit of luck too as well from time to time for everything to go right, which is essentially my way of creating the entrepreneur experience and making it more tangible for everybody in this company. All right, just to reiterate, because now that everyone is here, I want to go over what the framework of the Vista Project Awards are. Now, these frameworks have been reiterated 3 times already. This will be the 2 times already in previous 2 project awards. So if you've heard these before, please let me borrow a little bit more of your time. But this is new, then let me bring it up at this point. So first is urgency. The Vista Project Award is given to people who will address immediate opportunities and threats. If it is an opportunity, then is it the most urgent opportunity? And if it's a threat, is it the most urgent threat? Urgency. Second, impact. Has the project made tangible impact to our growth or the possibility for our growth? So what kind of impact are we talking about? Does it grow our revenue? Does it reduce ongoing costs? Does it reduce complexity and simplify a process that used to be manual, laborious, unpopular, or a process that used to be a roadblock? Third is entrepreneurial. How original and innovative is this project? Does the project incorporate the most forward-thinking principles, or does it just simply borrow an idea from an existing industry or from an existing company and move it here? So we want to think of how to become the most innovative hospitality company in the world. And so we need to be entrepreneurial. If we absorb too much of other people's ideas, then it's okay. I would say that's better than not having any new ideas at all, and we have to begin somewhere. But we really wanted to think, what is something that is really, really new that looks into the future of where the hospitality industry is going to go? So entrepreneurial. Longevity. Will the project actually belong to the company? So will the impact be lasting and enduring after the completion date? And will the impact survive the employee's absence? Or will the employee need to constantly drive it? And does it add to the permanent culture of Bukit Vista? So that's longevity. Project that only exists when one person is behind it is a temporary project and does not add to the legacy of where we're going or to the legacy of the company. Okay, so those are essentially the framework for the Vista Project Awards. And once again, back to the whole idea, the Vista Project Award is my own project. So it is not something that I think is permanent yet. It is not something that is set in stone. I need your feedback to make it better. I need your feedback to make it work in a way that achieves its goals. But I want to share those goals with everyone here so that we all know what we want from this project. We want to create high motivation with high alignment culture. We also want to address the most urgent and impactful entrepreneurial and longevity ideas. That's it. That's essentially the goal. So what I need from everybody is to help me understand so motivation. Okay? And just to give some ideas around where you can focus on for the upcoming month on Survive, there is 3 ideas that I came up with. One is our hospitality service system. We have the very beginning and foundations of this idea of how to superhost at scale. We have diagrams, we have visualizations, but we need implementation. We need to be able to create a robust system that can host and can fix problems for guests at scale, at hundreds, at thousands at a time. That is what a hospitality service system should look like. The other one is the inquiry optimization. Currently, our inquiries are getting between 5 and 10% conversion rate, which is very low. And we know that if this goes on, this becomes an urgent problem because it results in lower ranking on our Airbnb profiles. Now, I know that the condition in the marketplace is not good, but that taken into account does not really affect the inquiry optimization rate. Inquiry optimization is to convert inquiries that have already been addressed. Okay, so that part is the inquiry optimization, and along with inquiry optimization is occupancy optimization. Perhaps this can be a goal that fits really well with the long-term bookings and the monthly bookings that we get. How do we actually look to optimize the occupancy? All right, just 3 ideas. And I know a lot of people have not set their OKRs at the moment. Perhaps this can be of inspiration to set your OKRs. I think an OKR is an opportunity to prioritize correctly. And if you prioritize correctly, then you've created the right framework to achieve an individual bonus, but also the correct framework to achieve the Vista bonus. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's the summary about how Project Vista awards go. Back to the theme of the month. Okay, so on the July theme, we want to collaborate better together. We want to thrive by exploring and connecting with other chapters. I see a lot of good work that's already happening. Back to the analogy of the bridge that we had before, different parts of the bridge I see are actually connecting, and we're creating new cross-chapter programs and projects that are very, very exciting. So this is very good. And we want to merge technology with hospitality too. This has been one of our biggest challenges ever since the beginning of how do you get this technology to merge with the community? How do you get it to merge with what we're doing right now? It's probably one of the most worthwhile challenges in our timeline, in our lifetime, because this is something that most people would say is incompatible. But once again, let's kind of zoom into where we are right now. We are in a crisis with COVID, and this is not easy for anybody, least of all the hospitality industry. But it does present a very, very unique opportunity to actually create an ecosystem where technology and hospitality can coexist in a more symbiotic way than ever before. Okay, on Survive, to find and close the largest, simplest deals in the market, optimize our survival efficiency, and maintain our current and future rankings on Airbnb. Okay, the global idea is the same. We want to target $100 million valuation or greater with creating this idea of hospitality management as a service delivered through a system. Now, we are undergoing a lot of pivots right now to explore what that system will actually look like, but let's not forget this is our end goal for the deliverable in this company. All right, Next, I'll skip over these questions, I think, about the recovery. Actually, I'll speak a little bit on it. There's an update. So I got this update from Boyana the other day. I think it's been confirmed by a few other people. August is going to look maybe not so good for us because of a new immigration rule that's been put out saying that foreigners will need to leave Bali by August 9th. Now, as you can imagine, for anybody who is doing long-term deals, this does not bode well. The good news is we do have about, 3 weeks before August 9th, so that gives us some time to plan, prepare, and pivot for what to do next. It is probably not good for us, but it's equally not good for anybody else who has a long-term rental in their properties as well. So anyway, that's the update in terms of how things are going. And I've heard, I haven't had it confirmed yet, but I heard sometime in September we should be looking at arrivals of new foreign visitors to Bali. So it's going to get a little bit rough up in the month ahead, and hopefully it gets a little bit better in September. Okay, next is this idea of each mission. I want to actually just emphasize this point. Let me see if I actually have this paper that emphasized it. Okay, I'll bring it up here. So, I lost my place. Where did I go? Let's start over here. Okay, so learning your company is learning the mission of each particular chapter at your company. So if you are looking for a project right now, or if you have an idea, make sure that you put the idea into the right place. I'll give you an example. So Debo once upon a time came up with the idea of the brand book, the award winner of the Gold for Vista Project Awards back in June. Debo had this idea of the brand book, and when I looked at it, Debo's working in the marketing team, right? So the marketing team is working on acquiring any property and also discovering the best property in the world. Now the brand book does actually help a particular initiative inside that mission, which is the idea of creating more brand awareness for Bukit Vista. That helps us acquire any property anywhere. But for that particular idea, as I spoke about during the Vista Project Awards, I believe it also has another alignment to another mission, which is to build innovation culture for leading the global hospitality industry. By having a brand book, what you're doing is you're giving the ability for everybody in the company to voice the brand of the company consistently and clearly. So not only does this help actually with, let's say, a acquisition level, this helps at all levels of the company mission. And what this means to everybody, and what hopefully this can inspire you, is that when you come up with a great idea, think of like where you can actually apply that idea. Maybe not in your own particular chapter's mission, but maybe in another chapter's mission. And think about the skill sets that you can offer to drive the mission of your own chapter, but also other people's chapters as well. Okay, that's pretty much it for that. I just wanted to emphasize that point as we look across different chapters' missions. Okay. Oh, wow. All right, let's begin with the updates. So go over to Tendi. Tendi, good morning, and your update, please.
Okay, good morning everyone. Thank you, Guru. So my biggest achievement for the SR is make the revenue goal for SR for the goal target. And then the biggest personal growth is learn about the pivot card and create with the description. Thank you Lilis for teach me and Rafiq. And then the picture of my hobby is traveling. So that's when I bring Gani, Rizal, and Rian to my village. Yeah, so in the north Bali. So it's super fun. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Hey, Rizal, I've never seen the photos from this trip. Where did you hide them? Okay, amazing. Good. And
okay, so starting from the new SR.
All right. Very good, Tendi. Oh, and also your Tendi, your community. Okay.
Yeah, above.
Above. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so trying to bridge Happy Village and then have to produce CSC video for the Dream Bridge and then set new KPI for the CSC and then bigger training to get better result. And then that's another picture when traveling. That's in the North Bali as well.
Excellent.
And,
Oh,
and then show the evidence to partner of the benefit to join our CSC program.
superb. Thank you very much, Tendi. Okay, next let's go to Nadine. No, Nadine.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Okay, so for last week, I have no big achievement, I guess, and for my personal growth is now I'm start to learning about leadership and preparing myself to be ready for self leadership. And next is the photos when I was doing my hobby. This is when I was playing theater. I was playing a very poor pregnant woman. So she was lamenting her sadness. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then next, the biggest actionable discovery is I'm starting to filtering ideas in my mind, which will require small effort, but will give big impact. So yeah, with prioritization.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Nadine. Excellent. Okay, let's go next to. Are you holding a cat?
No, it's a doll. So I was imagining like I really want to have a baby.
I see. Okay. Interesting. Let's go next to Cynthia. All right. Thank you very much, Nadine.
Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. Okay, for the first one is the achievement. My biggest achievement is it's very interesting to be a chair in a meeting and apply a little bit of a moderator skill when you're discussion session. It's kind of like, yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I think that's my big achievement and I still learn about chairing as well. And then for my biggest personal growth, like I was joining a webinar last Sunday. It's about a personal branding, and then I got an answer for my question this past few days. It's about the selfless purpose and also selfish purpose. I think it could be applied to the team as well when you make initiative. And this is my hobby. Anyone can guess what is my hobby?
Makeup.
Yeah, that's correct.
Lightning.
That's actually this picture is telling you guys two of my hobbies in a picture. So the first one is I love doing selfie. No, yeah, it's because like somehow when I'm doing selfies, kind of like I appreciate myself, and then it could boost, yeah, it could boost my confidence, and then I will tell like, oh well, I'm not that bad though. I'm
Yes,
taking
yes.
yeah, it helps me to boost my
Kirain tadi dia lihat
confidence.
tenang je.
And also makeup. Lately, I love playing with my makeup, so I think maybe I could change my career right now to a photo model. Maybe if you have a hobby of photography, I could be your model. And then this is my biggest discovery. I think everyone might have their hard time right now, and then I just realized that I have my own teammates who can listen to my problems, and yeah, we can share it, the talk, and can be open to each other, and it could strengthen each other. So thank you for my team. That's
Perfect.
it.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. Cynthia, I want to give you the gift of masterclass. There is
That's
a
what we
perfect
done.
time. Yeah, to make
I was, yeah.
I had no idea how difficult it was to actually apply makeup. So I totally appreciated it more after watching this.
Yeah, you are pleasing, sir. I think you are captivated by my face. No, thank you.
Okay, moving on. Next, Andre. Okay. Andre, your update, please.
Andre.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So, thank you. My update is actually no biggest achievement, but finally, there's guest mentioned my name again on review. I think that's personally fun for me. So, my personal growth is now I'm learning more about pivoting projects and visualizing the progress to let everyone know what's on the update there. I think that's my biggest personal growth in last week. So here's my photo doing my hobbies. It's when I doing a gamelan karawitan. I used to play a punang. It's a Japanese music. So pardon my face. My face is always like didn't really care with anything. So that's my hobbies. I used to play it very often when in university. So here comes my actionable discovery is to record your progress clearly is also to gain the feedback from your team. So your team will easily check your progress and is also to give your team can also easily give you feedback or something to boost your project. That's all
Excellent.
from me.
Excellent. Andre, does it ever get hot wearing that jacket playing gamelan?
That's very hot, sir. It's also hard for you to sit because you're like using the jari, you know?
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to play gamelan, but maybe I'll get lucky one day and they'll have. Okay, next over to Rizal. Rizal, over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir, and good morning, everyone. And start from my biggest achievement is I got opportunity to use Facebook ads to collaborate with revenue manager to survive on this week. And then my biggest personal growth is I push myself to work with KPIs. And the next picture of myself doing hobby is doing camping and also flying drone and also dancing in the edge of lake. And yeah, that's with my with Tendi and Rian and Gani also. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And you make Indomie
Yes.
with water. Okay. Awesome. And a bonfire. Yes. Okay, cool.
And my actionable discovery is preparing virtual tools to acquire prospective partner in the future. Yeah, that's
Very
for
cool.
me.
Very cool. All right, awesome. What leg is that, Rizal?
Um, I forget. Teddy, where is this? I forget.
Okay.
That's Brother Buyan, sir.
Oh yeah, Pian Lake.
Oh, okay.
Buyan
Okay.
Lake.
Nice, nice. Good action. Good stuff. All right, next to Gani. Okay, over to you, Gani.
Okay, good morning everyone. So my biggest achievement is I don't have a big achievement this week, and my biggest personal growth is first I learning leadership, and second I'm trying to work smart, not hard. So yeah, that's the most important things. And a picture of yourself doing hobby is I love photography, and and the last is biggest.
Where's Gani?
I'm taking the picture, sir. I'm taking
Oh, you took the picture of this. Okay.
And the last is biggest actionable discovery is keep in mind everything that you do should be small effort, big impact. Otherwise, you wasting time and energy.
Oh, very good. Nice. Very good. Leverage. Thank you very much, Gani. Gani, what was this event?
This is 2016 on the solar eclipse and Jogja.
Oh,
so,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So-
All right. Photoshop.
The lesson should be covered by a lot of things, So
Oh,
because it's solar
interesting.
eclipse.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Everyone's putting
Yeah.
like glass. Okay, interesting. All right. You have some haters on the chat channel apparently, and they don't believe you. So you better address your haters. All right. Next, over to Aldo. Aldo, to you, sir.
Okay, good morning everyone. So I didn't have any big achievement last week, and my biggest personal growth is learning on becoming a good mentor slash buddy. And my hobby is collecting good food memories. So I created an album of my food, of food that I recently love and become my quote unquote comfort food. That's there. And my my actionable discovery is linking my personal calendar to work calendar to get my schedule meet. Thank
Nice.
you, sir.
Okay, very good. Very good. Wow. Okay, there's a subway in Indonesia.
No, sir, it's actually I eat at there at Kuala Lumpur.
Okay, got it, And oh, this looks good. What is this? This baguette thing?
Yeah, it's like a baguette but filled with pasta. I ate it at the at Tangerang, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Pasta.
somewhere in Tangerang Selatan.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So thank you for sharing, Aldo. Let's go next to Vidi. Vidi, over to you, sir.
All right, good morning, everyone. So I have no big achievement that I can think of this week, and my achievement is continuous improvement with no improvement acceleration feels a bit stale. The picture of hobby is that when I was younger, I did choir. I couldn't find the performance picture, but that's the after performance picture.
Is that you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
A lot
And
of things
actually,
change in time, sir.
definitely.
Okay, and my biggest actionable discovery is I feel like my calendar was full last week, and I for sure did something, but it just seemed like I can't remember what I did. And the thing is, there's a trade-off between work that produce immediate result and acceleration of growth. But again, we have limited resources. Just keep that in mind. And that's also I've attached also kind of like the stay permit update Mr. Jing is talking about just now. So the thing is, it's not that they foreigners or expats have to leave, but during the COVID situation, people actually have automatically get an emergency COVID permit stay, right? Like an extension automatically. But this time it's just like they kind of stop that special circumstance, and people have to do the extension of visa like usual.
I see.
So that they update on the new basically.
Excellent.
That's
Thank-
it. My
Very
Thank
good.
you very much.
Don't assume use data. Thank you very much, Vidi, for getting this data in front of us. So, okay, there it is. Local immigration ends at July 13th and 60 days of the grace period. Okay, all right, there we have it. Thank you for the facts, Vidi. Next to Lilith. Over to Lilith.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, happy birthday!
Thank you, sir. So, for the last week, luckily I could make the 6-month deal for SB9. That's super urgent. And it will be continuous in the future if I can continuously doing that. And together with Mak Rizal and Mak Wayan, finish the invitation pitch proposals and pitch deck. And then for the learning process, I get more confirmed that not everyone has the same understanding regarding things that we should have the same understanding. For the hobby, yeah, I like to eat babi guling, especially the crunchy pig. It was when I doing my potong gigi ceremony, so I'm very happy to have that crunchy pig skin. And then the second one is I am very happy when I can get the free ongkir free barbecue. Yeah, I'm very happy when I can serve in Shopee, although I don't buy anything, but it's just like yeah, I work in Shopee.
Nice, very good.
And
Okay.
then last one, improve the awareness to environment, increase the possibility of discovering something.
Nice one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, Lilith, when I found the secret Bobby Guling place in Mungu, right? Mungu, yes. And I'll let Anna share that with you so that we can have some.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Next one, over to, oh my God. Are you at the Four Seasons? Oh my God. Okay. Four Seasons in what?
No. Okay, so my biggest achievement for last week is basically activated new onboarding program. So this has never been happening before. So just like trials usually, so onboarding program is like in cohort with leader pointed as I pointed has been, and then with new materials with the help of all the chapters in the teams, and then buddy system with mentor actually. So my biggest personal growth, it's becoming not just a mentor but also a buddy. So I see it quite different between mentor and buddy. It's more connected with buddy system. And then for picture of hobby, I really like to travel and eat. but travel to specifically to a hidden gem, so like not so touristy place. So that's my pictures, yeah, back in November 2019 in Ubud. And then because actionable discovery is leadership is pretty key, as I discussed with them, to be defined for alignment and development of individuals or teams. So, thank you.
Nice one. Very good. Hey, Ara, I recognize this place. I think I had brunch. No, I had afternoon tea with Brian Chesky here, right? I think it was like on that couch actually. So I recognize it. Yeah. Very
Yeah,
good.
yes. First
Nice.
in saya.
Excellent place, by the way. So if you come to Bali, definitely go visit the Four Seasons and get a coffee. They'll let you in. Yeah, that's kind of a fun place to see the architecture. All right, nice one. Okay, okay. So this is me. I had a hard time actually remembering any achievements. So I was like, okay, Vinny probably echoed my sentiments. I was like, can't really remember. It feels like I did a lot last week, but I wrote this last night. Anyways, my personal growth is, I think, working on coaching leaders and leadership will actually be more effective than getting too deep into the details. So that's my personal growth. This is me doing aesthetic dancing, which is kind of fun. It's like the opposite of going to a nightclub dancing where you get judged. So this is where you just kind of go out, just do whatever you want. And I did this during the Bali Spirit Festival. So that was good. And then I also, for actionable discovery, I think Trello can actually be used to create mini capsules of culture for a company. So each successful project that we have becomes a little code for how to actually activate the culture of the company in the future. And I like that. That was my discovery. Okay, it's probably obvious to many other people, but okay. Anyway, next, Rupert, over to you, sir.
Well, I just tell you right now. So, can you going to the top on your dancing, sir?
Go stop my screen.
No, it's when you're dancing. The picture when you're dancing.
Oh my!
The black t-shirt is me. Beside of you is me.
This is you.
That is the shirt.
No, that doesn't look like you. This guy is old.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, this is you, Rafik. But this is you.
Yes. I'm really proud on that time.
That's you. This is you. The guy.
I was on that chamber.
Probably. Okay, Rafik, you're up, please.
Yeah, so I don't have a very big achievement. It's only supporting the community team regarding the GSC program in January. From 10 already done for 7 property, so ongoing. And then the personal growth, my LinkedIn is improvement now. So it's many person is thanking me. And then that is one of my hobby. Beside the drum, badminton, this is okay. This is the CEO of Gateway College before, that is Annika Erickson. So I go in with her at Bose. So I like to sing, even though my voice is not good. If you don't like it, please go out from the room. That is the rules. So, and then what is the biggest discovery?
The biggest discovery will be.
Trust, care, and share with the others, partner and owner. Even though teammates, even though you get good feedback on bad feedback, will be motivate yourself and the others, because the success is never end. That is my biggest actionable. Thank you.
Great words of wisdom, Rafik. Wow. How young were you in this photo, Rafik?
Oh, guess, please.
31.
Now.
Okay, 32.
Gue tangan bae.
28.
Yes.
Wow.
Do
you want anybody in the company who's 28 today? If you're 28 today, just right. Own Rafik never really exists. Okay. From 28-year-olds, hopefully you're as handsome as what Rafik used to look like down here on that. So, I know. Yeah. I said that so that I could hear you say that. Yeah, so, cause and effect, cause and effect. All right,
Okay.
let's go next to Rian. Rian, over to you, sir. Yep, okay, Rian's not here. I'll go ahead
Rian
and.
is off, sir.
Oh, right, okay, I'll read Rian's this. So he has no big achievement last week. Personal growth. I found new method to professional network by observing what Jing did and adapt the idea to my liking. Okay, cool. Here's Rian snorkeling in Gili Ketapang 2 years ago. Say hello to the little clownfish. Hello, clownfish. Okay. And actual discovery, I can easily find an ex-employee from a company by looking for X followed by that employee's company's name on the search column in LinkedIn. Who knows? I can find a pro by doing so. All right, very good. Thank you, Rian, for that discovery there. Okay, next over to you, sir.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So my biggest achievement last week is our bank account now. The income bank account now is centralized. Only one bank account, so we can check how much money that we are receiving, and then that also can be monitored daily. So basically, that has been successfully switched. And then the personal growth, I'm slowing down a bit and just observing what others really want to achieve. Because I think before we work with the assumption that everyone wants to achieve something, but probably that's not what that they want. So and this is on the product development team. So so we won't waste any time to build a product that is not intended to be used in the future. So okay, the next one is my hobby. Basically, I'm doing 3 of my hobbies in one photo. So yeah, the face is not really about that, but I'm playing music while doing picnic, traveling, and then also I'm setting up a photography here. You see the lighting, so I bring like a lot of lights into the park. So that's in Bedugul, by the way. If you want to explore Bali and do some fun picnic, you can just go to Bedugul. It is very nice place. So yeah, that's it. That's me doing my hobby.
That's going to be your album cover right here, right? I use top hits, right?
Like what? Silence?
Or mindful meditations with CTO by you. Okay, all right, cool. And
Okay.
actual discovery by you.
Actionable discovery. So I discovered that we can tap into Airbnb's API basically directly, and then we can get some data and update the data directly. That's what I'm doing for changing the payout setting of all the listing, changing bank accounts. Before we are actually, I'm asking a few people to help me doing that manually, and that like finish like 10 to 20 listing only in 1 hour. So that's very long time to do that. So when we use this method, we can automate it, and one profile with around 400 listing, it can be done in 1 minute or 2 minutes. So that we can make use of this, and probably we can explore other things as well to help us with the operation of getting data from Airbnb.
Fantastic! Wow. Okay, we have an API access. That's actually pretty
So
fundamental.
it's hacking.
Nice. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Bayu. I noticed Bayu, you're using the Hydra Pack.
Yes, the one that you gave me.
Hydra Pack, the collapsible bottle, which is pretty
Yeah.
amazing. One of my friends used to work there, so good invention. Next to Wayana Banana. Okay, Wayana, hey, go ahead.
Banana, sharp.
Wayana. Hello. Wait, she's screaming at me through the door. Yeah? What? Okay, she's rushing over right now. LOL. Everyone's laughing at you now.
I know that. Just right at the moment.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry guys, my laptop time to time it just crashed the Wi-Fi down. So I don't have a big achievement, but we did a group work finance. I want to say a big thanks for the team that have finance automation. It was great. Like I got a lot of work, but in with a group, it's like came done in one day. Personal growth was nice to work and collaborate with other chapter like marketing, RM, and MB. So that was cool, like creating like pitch deck and then how to the flow. It was amazing. And then that's what I like to do is actually like traveling, exploring, like the more way the place is more fun. Like I think more.
So we climbed the volcano, right?
Yeah, and then it's like go to the jungle or.
How did you take that photo?
Huh?
How did you take that photo?
With Eka. Hey, no, I don't know. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but that's my photo.
I remember I broke my foot going up there, so I don't know if I took that photo.
I was curious and explore yourself on environment. You might find
Curiga.
Curiga.
Okay, go ahead.
So I already did actionable discovery. Always curious and explore yourself and environment. You might find more than what you
Okay, all right, fantastic. All right, thank you very much, Maya, for the update. And let's go next to Kiki. Oh wow, Kiki's a drummer. I did not know that. Kiki, over to you.
Wah.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Kiki.
I hope you guys can listen to my voice because I'm in outside right now.
Loud and clear.
Okay, so the big achievement. My big achievement is actually I can't think any of it now. So as I stated there, maybe it's time
Apa?
to learn and try something new and make some achievement from it. So yeah, and
Hectic.
for my biggest personal growth, I believe that when we grab opportunities, that means we need to move out from our comfort zone.
Wah, kelas.
And I don't know why it's related to my online tarot reading. So I did some online tarot reading, and I think the result is quite true. And it stated that it's time to make a wish. In fact, you can dream big and aim to the stars. If you have experienced a bunch of work-related challenges, soon you will be able to grow. So yeah, and then the photo of me doing my hobby. So basically, yeah, I can play drum and I used to play it often. And pardon my face actually. And then, and then for my biggest actionable discovery, so back to creating to-do list, but instead of writing it on Dropbox paper, I write it on my notebook, and I like it more. It works very well. So that's pretty much for me. Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right, Kiki, thank you very much. What's your favorite song to drum to?
I used to play my very first song that I play when I start to learn playing drum is Panic at the Disco.
Nice.
But it's better if you do.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Kiki. Nice one. Let's go next to Cassie.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Kiki.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning everyone.
Okay.
So my biggest
Yo.
achievement is I had improvement on Instagram Bukit Vista insight result from the last week content interaction performance and my biggest performance growth. Oh yeah, is I learned how to manage my mood daily because I have some issue with my mood. Like I'm moody. So my hobby is I'm doing archery.
Wow.
Yeah. So so next my biggest
actionable discovery.
Yeah, my biggest actionable discovery is consistency makes perfection. So yeah, that's all.
Consistent.
That's
Thank
cool.
you.
Are you this girl, the one closest to the camera?
Yep.
All right, nice. Okay, all right, cool. Archery. Is it really hard to pull back the string because it looks like a huge, like the bow is as big as you are.
So yeah, at the first time is it, but I'm in the third class. So when you are in the archery, you have to move to first, second, and third. So when you have to be in the highest class, so your bow is more higher than you maybe. Yeah. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, cool. Good stuff. Nice one. Thank you, Kezia. Let's go next to Alithia. Alithia, over to you.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Morning, Alithia.
Okay, so my biggest achievement is being the chairperson for the HR Scrum for the very first time. The biggest growth would be to learn more about selection and hiring from R because I got trained in this in school. What my hobby is, I like to take pictures, so it was a bit difficult for me to find like photos of myself because I'm usually the one taking it. But yes.
Okay, cool.
And actionable. What's it called? Actionable what? I don't know what was it called. I forgot. Actionable discovery. Yeah, is that the ideas generated should allow for actionable changes.
Nice. Very good. Alithia, is this in Moscow?
Yes, it is. Yes. Oh wow, Tandy got it right. It's Haji Lane at it's like near Little India. Yeah.
Very good. Awesome. Very cool. And those look like some Mayan murals. Okay, cool. Or Aztec murals. Let's go next to Haspi. Haspi, over to you, sir.
Hi. So, for my first part, I think it's the same as Alithia because I participated as a chair for the first time in the digital marketing. For the second section, is that active listening. I think is very useful for during the meetings I attend. So, like I learned from my teammates, and yeah, I realized that it's not easy to share, but you all make it seem very easy. So, this picture is of me swimming last year before the COVID struck. Yep. And for the actionable discovery is to use Google Calendar for everything.
All right, very good. Next one, Haspi. That you got amazing deltoids. Look at that. Look at that arm stroke there. It's like pull you right through the water there. Cool. Very good. All right. Next, over to Caroline. Caroline, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. So
Morning, Caroline.
For the biggest, I forgot what is the first achievement. Yeah. Taking part in the pre-hosting and online hosting workflow and in answering like guest inquiry. So, and for the second one, the biggest personal growth is better understanding in the workflow and getting used to the system, like using bigger token and everything. And my hobby, I couldn't really find because I'm not taking pictures of food or anything because I don't have the patience. So it's like my friend taking a picture of me eating food.
Okay. All right, cool. Good stuff. And then to the actionable discovery.
So I've known this, but I just never really applied it to my life. So because due to this pandemic, I finally tried like exercising at least 20 minutes a day. It improves my concentration and focus.
Cool. Very good. Caroline, you like French things. Am I correct?
I was in France at this time. If I have Indonesian food, I will eat Indonesian food. It's just expensive there. So that's why I just eat like potato chips and some cheese.
Nice one. Wait, so Indonesian food is expensive in France.
Like imagine the kusuka, the cassava chips. It's like €5, so it's like 90 to 100,000. You know,
Wow.
you can't spend that much for potato chips.
Wow, not fair.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, that's the funny thing. When you go to a country, you realize that their native food is never expensive. Just like anyway. Okay, good stuff. Interesting travels. Let's go next to Frida. Frida.
Okay, hello, good morning, everyone. So, for my first, biggest achievement this week, same as Lithia and Hasbi. I'm participating in RM Scrum as a chairperson, and my personal growth is get more understanding about revenue management. Thank you for Kak Vidi and Kak Lilis who always guide me. And this is my photo. I love adventure. Like I love hiking and maybe kind of rafting and camping like Kak Rizal. And this is my first picture hiking in Mount Lawu in my 15 years old. And for my next one, my actionable discovery, I start doing meditation every night because I have a problem with my sleep. Like I always wake up in the middle of the night and feel I don't know, deg-degan here. What is it in English? Yeah, and I found podcast in Spotify. It's about meditation, and I start listening it every night, and I feel better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frida. Just to add to that, I actually started listening to Peaceful Piano playlist on my Spotify when I sleep. It's kind of nice too. Okay, thank you very much for the update, Frida. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the all hands. I think we're pretty much done. Oh, on the Tableau, I'll open up the stats real quick. Actually, we don't have time for that. Sorry, it's already 11. So let's just skip over that and take a look really quick at the, let's see. Oh, no, I think we don't have any other core value recognitions. Okay, so no core value recognitions this week, but if you think of anything, please recognize your colleagues if you remember something, write it down now, and we can talk about it for the next all hands. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you everybody for coming in. I think this was really a good way to start the week. Wish you guys all a wonderful week ahead. Okay, have a great week. See you everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a great week, everyone. Have a nice day.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.